honorable ministers, and honorable Chief of Staff of President, honorable Major General, Chief of Somali National Armed Forces, honorable MPs, distinguished ambassadors and heads of diplomatic missions, as well as international organizations, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, good afternoon. It is our great pleasure to have your gracious presence today to celebrate the 65th anniversary of the establishment of China-Somalia diplomatic relations. On behalf of the Chinese Embassy in Somalia, I would like to extend our deep appreciation to all of you. I also wish to take this opportunity to express our heartfelt gratitude to all friends who have always supported the development of China-Somalia relations. The establishment of diplomatic relations between China and Somalia on December 14, 1960, opened a new chapter in the history of friendly exchanges between the two nations. That year, Somalia became independent, and China was among the first few countries to recognize it. Meanwhile, Somalia was the first East African country to establish diplomatic ties with the People's Republic of China. It was a historic moment that the two nations, which had experienced the similar past with the common cause and the same aspiration, came to be united. Just as an ancient Chinese saying goes, nothing, not even mountains and sea, can separate people with the same goals and vision. China-Somalia friendship is an example of mutual respect and equal treatment. China never interferes in other countries' internal affairs and opposes the practice of the big and strong bullying the small and weak. Over the past decades, no matter how the world changes, China and Somalia have extended mutual support concerning each other's core interests and major concerns. In 1971, as one of the 23 co-sponsors for the UN General Assembly Resolution 2758, Somalia and other African nations supported the restoration of the legitimate rights of the People's Republic of China at UN. The Chinese people have never forgotten this and will never forget it. China appreciates Somalia's consistent adherence to the One China principle and will continuously and firmly support Somalia's efforts in safeguarding its national sovereignty, unity, and territorial integrity. China-Somalia friendship is a demonstration of mutual beneficial cooperation and common development. China presented the real and substantial support to the economic and social development of Somalia, carried out a series of landmark aid projects, such as Benadir Hospital, the National Theatre, and the Mogadishu Stadium. Along with the Somali national rebuilding, China and Somalia have expanded the cooperation in various fields, such as economy and trade, personnel training and development, and humanitarian aid. In recent years, the two sides are working together to further expand our practical cooperation in trade, e-governance, AI, and digital economy. China-Somalia friendship is a testimony of sincerity, understanding, and amity. For decades, China has been providing scholarships to outstanding Somali students to study in China. The Chinese government also offers various kinds of human resources training programs, and many staff members of government agencies went to China for short-term exchange. And I'm very glad that many of them are joining us today. Certainly, we will never forget those Somali friends who made contributions to China-Somalia friendship. In the 1990s, when the Chinese embassy had to withdraw due to the outbreak of the Somali civil war, a Somali friend named Ahmed was entrusted to help watch over the compound. Out of the strong friendship and goodwill, he carefully kept the Chinese national emblem, which used to be hanging on the top of the main building. After the embassy resumed its operation, Brother Ahmed traveled afar from his hometown to Mogadishu to hand over the Chinese national emblem he had kept for over 20 years. Recently, we have also managed to contact with Ambassador Ahmed Bolton Dhaka, member of the President Aden Abdullah Osman's delegation to China in 1965. We have invited him to record a short video for today's ceremony. Another beautiful story indeed. China-Somalia friendship is a shared commitment to safeguarding the common interests of the Global South and upholding international fairness and justice. As the world's largest developing country and an important member of the Global South, China advocates and adheres to the principles of sincerity, real results, amity, and good faith to the world development agenda. China rendered support to Somalia's election as a non-permanent member of the United Nations Security Council for the 2025 to 2026 term. Our two countries have maintained close communication and coordination on a series of major international and regional issues to jointly safeguard the legitimate rights and interests of developing countries and the Global South, to redress historical injustice in the process of modernization, and to oppose hegemonism as well as bullying in international relations. Somalia speaks highly of the 4 global initiatives put forward by President Xi Jinping. China stands ready to work with Somalia to further the reform and improvement of the global governance system. Dear friends, at this moment, Somalia is inflicted with huge losses and damages by the severe drought. As a true friend, China was among the first to extend a helping hand to our Somali brothers and sisters, providing emergent humanitarian assistance. And we are now discussing further support measures in an active manner. China will continue to firmly support Somalia's efforts to safeguard its national sovereignty, unity, and territorial integrity, and explore avenues to expand cooperation with Somalia in wider areas. Now we are working with the federal government of Somalia to facilitate the implementation of the zero tariff treatment for 100% tariff lines in Somalia, with the focus on expediting the export of high-quality Somali products into the Chinese domestic market. China is also actively working on practical measures to facilitate personnel exchanges between our two countries and explore for more cooperation in areas such as green energy and digital connectivity. Next year, we will launch China-Africa Year of People-to-People Exchanges. The two sides will host a series of people-to-people exchange activities under the theme of Consolidate All-Weather Friendship, pursue shared dreams of modernization, to promote cultural exchanges and mutual learning between China and Africa. China and Somalia will jointly contribute our part to this grand program of China-Africa cooperation. The second China-Arab State Summit will be held in China next year. Somalia is an important member of the Arab world, and we look forward to achieving more outcomes in China-Somalia cooperation within the China-Arab States Cooperation Framework. Dear friends, in 2024, President Xi Jinping met with President Mohammed During the Beijing summit of the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation, the two heads of state announced the elevation of China-Somalia relationship into the strategic partnership, which has drawn a blueprint and opened a new stage for the development of their bilateral relations. 2 months ago, the 20th Central Committee of the CPC convened its 4th plenary session with the adoption of formulating China's 15th five-year plan for economic and social development. It has been clearly stated that during the 15th five-year plan period, China will continue to adhere to the high-quality development, expand high-level opening up, and embrace a new future of win-win cooperation, and advance the building of a community with a shared future for humanity. Looking into the future, a confident and open China will undoubtedly bring more opportunities of development for the rest of the world, especially including Somalia. Starting on a new line, China is ready to work with Somalia under the strategic guidance of the consensus reached by the two heads of state to continuously enrich China-Somalia strategic partnership and jointly further the building of an all-weather China-Africa community with a shared future for the new era, and march on the road towards modernization. In closing, let's wish the friendship between China and Somalia grow from strength to strength. May the two peoples enjoy happiness and well-being. Thank you.